Let me tell you something, RJ Cutler. When I saw the trailer, I busted out in tears. And I thought, this is not good. How am I going to make it through the series? And then I start watching the whole entire series, and I cried for every single solitary one. How did you decide upon those particular letters and those particular subjects to mesh with the biography element of the series?
Well, it's a first of all, thank you for saying that. It really is an emotional series, and I think that's because it's tapping into something very deep, which is that um, all of our lives have been touched by individual people doing in specific things. One event, one moment, one gesture, one book you've read, one piece of art you've experienced, and it's we respond to that. We see it in action, and what's so surprising about the series is you would think that Oprah Winfrey, Lynn Miranda, Stevie Wonder, Spike Lee, that they've seen it before, they've heard it before, they've been told so many times how beautiful their work is, how meaningful their work is, and something inside us also recognizes as truthful that that doesn't make it any less moving, any less significant to them when that one-on-one connection is made, and when somebody says to them, here is what your work did for me, thank you. And it's very, very powerful. So with that kind of guiding understanding of what we were working with, finding the subjects, finding the letter writers was, while not an easy process, followed suit. We were looking for people who reflected um, different moments in the subjects' lives. So we wanted someone who had been touched by Oprah's early career, her middle year career, her later career, the schools she began, different things like that. With Lynn Miranda, for instance, it was important to find somebody who had been affected by his work, by In the Heights, who had been affected by Hamilton, but also who had been inspired by his activism and the general message that he's bringing to the world. And with each of our what we call icons, with each of our subjects, it was important to find letter writers who reflected on that, and then of course letter writers who had beautiful stories to tell, and that's how we did it. And it really, there's so many moving parts to this, but when it comes together, as you've seen, it's really quite something, and we're very proud of it.
And you mentioned that you got a lot of icons, but then you got this one icon that is not human. You got Big Bird.
The best of them all, Big Bird.
I even cried at the Big Bird when I'm like, what is happening? My mother was watching it with me, and she was like, what is wrong with you? Why are you crying? And I said, because I'm so touched. I'm so incredibly touched. So why did you decide to infiltrate Big Bird? Because Big Bird is not human, but Big Bird is an icon.
He is an icon, and he's somebody who has touched so many lives. And listen, again, our guiding light is one person can change the world. One bird can change the world too, and that's what you see in the Big Bird episode. Simple gestures, kind words, a lesson taught. Um, these can be shockingly impactful. There's an episode with Misty Copeland where she tells the story of how, as a young girl, this is the prima ballerina Misty Copeland. She tells the story about how, as a young girl, her family didn't know where their next meal was coming from. They were living in a motel, and and there was a local boys and girls club, and she went over there because she had heard that they were giving ballet lessons, dance lessons. She had never danced before, but she knew she enjoyed dancing at home, and she went and this teacher who had decided to give free lessons at the local Boys and Girls Club recognized in her this extraordinary gift, that she was a prodigy, and encouraged her to dance and gave her a scholarship to dance school. And what if that teacher had not shown up, been there that day? What if she hadn't volunteered that day? What if Misty had something else she had to do? These little miracles change the world.
Well, thank you for bringing those little miracles into my life, into the lives of everyone that's going to watch it on Apple TV. I thank you so much for your time today, and I appreciate you.
Thanks so much. Likewise.
Bye now.
To keep up with the Curvy Critic, like our page here, click that subscribe button, and click that bell for notifications. Love, peace, and hair grease, y'all.